Hey, coffee beans, what's brewing? Ooh, I kind of like that. It's going to be my new what's up. What it do? What's brewing, y'all? If we haven't met yet, my name is Alyssa Mahabir. I'm your host for the Brewed with Agape podcast. Welcome. I'm so excited that you are here. And we're at episode 2, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that we're here. But before we start, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, watching, listening, reposting, commenting, liking episode 1 that was launched 2 weeks ago. You guys have no idea how everything meant to me because it's very scary, it's very new, but the support that you guys had for me was amazing, and it just meant the world. It really did. So it makes me more excited. It makes me more confident. So I appreciate that. You guys are truly the best. So let's do a quick recap. Okay, recap from episode 1. So from episode 1, you guys learned that I love lattes. I love going to coffee shops. I love to travel. What else did we learn? We learned that I was American. I was born in Orlando, Florida, yet I'm Guyanese, so that was cool. And you guys learned that my favorite season was fall and how much I love the fall season going into winter. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. I think y'all know a little too much. No, just kidding. We also talked about this podcast and what the idea of this podcast is going to be about, what we want it to be about, and it's a self-growth podcast. We are here to kind of dive deep into ourselves, learning about God's unconditional love that He has for us, and how after learning that, we can start expressing that out to people and the world that we encounter on a daily. So that is why we are here, and I'm so excited for today's episode. I have a script. I wrote almost everything out that I want to say and hopefully touch base on. So you're gonna see me, if you're watching, you're gonna see me like look down a few times just because I want to make sure I'm staying on track, because I have a tendency not to stay on track. So I apologize if my eyes wander just a little bit. But today's episode is Patience is a Virtue. I named today's episode Patience is a Virtue because it's a quote that I've heard multitudes of times throughout my life, but really, I didn't really pay attention to. Maybe I ignored it. It means, it's a shorter way of saying waiting calmly for something, and hence the calmly part of your waiting period. That's hard. There's another one, a very popular one. It's good things comes to those who wait. And I get it. Yeah, be patient, wait. And it's like, yeah, that thing that you want will come into fruition one day. And that sounds nice and all, and it sounds great, except for the part where it's like one day. Like, when? What day is this going to happen? Like, can I get a time slot? Like, can we put it in my Google Calendar, like, so I know when this day is coming? And it's like, can I just do something on my own to like speed up the process? Like, is there anything that I can do better? Anything I could do more to just curate this thing and push it along so it just happens now? Because at the end of the day, I want it now. At the end of the day, it can be difficult. You know what I mean? Like, can we just vent about it real quick? I feel like there's things that we are waiting for and we want to happen, and it's annoying and it's frustrating, right? And we talk to people about it, and sometimes they just kind of give us that cliche answer, you know, like, oh, don't lose hope, don't give up, it'll come one day, gal, no stress yourself, it'll come. Like, and I say that because I'm the cliche person that says that to my homegirls, says it to my boyfriends, says it to my family, friends, like whenever they come to me about the situation and they're just like frustrated, like those are my best answers, like don't stress, it's coming. And they have the same answers when it comes for me too. Like if I'm in a waiting period about something, they're like, okay, just pray about it. Like, just, it'll come. Like, don't stress your mind about it. Like, whatever. And I know they mean well. And they know that I mean well. But like for like 5 minutes or a couple seconds, okay, just a couple seconds, can we just not mean well? Can we just like not mean well right now? Because look, this is hard. This is so hard. This is so annoying. It is so frustrating to have patience on something that you feel like it should have happened already. It like needs to happen yesterday, if not tomorrow, And it's like, how long do you wait? Like, what more do I need to put in? Especially because you're putting in so much effort and you're putting in your best moments and you're just putting yourself in the forefront to help you get to where you think you're supposed to be, what you want to be at. And you're just like, what? Like, why is it taking 5 years? Why is it taking months, weeks? I don't know. You're so in the unknown, right? Because you just don't know if it's going to happen. You don't know if any of the efforts that you've been putting in is going to mean anything. And it's like, man, like what? It's like such a frustrating. I think frustration is the best word to just describe being in that patience level, or patience period, because it's frustrating. I think maybe for me, I'm just controlling and I just want to know everything and I just want to know what's going to happen at a certain time period for my life because I have it planned for a certain thing, but I still don't know. Like, you're just trying every nook and cranny to succeed in whatever goal you're trying to hit. It could be a new job. It could be getting a house. It could be getting through school, trying to develop a workout routine, and growing in your content, a promotion. Maybe it's getting someone you love to like understand something from your perspective. Like, that's hard, having patience with someone. Like, geez, like, for instance, like, if I say Jesus is love, Jesus is king, he's the everything, and you're just like, yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm just like, why don't you understand? Why don't you get it? Can't you be on board with me? Like, it's that type of level of patience that we completely don't have. Honestly, and I have struggled with patience a lot in my life. I still struggle with patience. There is something that I want in my relationship that is coming, but I don't know when. And it is so hard to stay patient about it. Like, it is so hard. But the thing is, I can't allow it to happen on my time, which is something that is just like, you gotta understand. We're gonna talk about it. Before I can get off topic. I'm gonna get off topic. Okay. I have struggled, and I still struggle with patience. It's something that I've gotten a little better-ish, but I know God's still working on that in me. But I feel like I struggle in 2 different departments under patience. First one is having patience for things that I want, which I'm sure you guys can resonate with. And number 2, the patience I don't have with people. Yikes. That one's probably my worst thing to kind of confess, that I don't have patience with people. Like, I'm not mean, but it depends on who you are. Now, that sounds horrible. Let's backtrack. Let's talk about the first topic. Something that you guys obviously resonate with, having patience for things that you want. I struggle with that. I used to struggle with that a lot more than I do now. When I realize like there's something that I want and it's not maybe coming in the time that I am expecting it, I like take a deep breath take a deep breath and understand that it's not my plans. It's not part of me. I have to just understand that if it's not coming into fruition on my thought and my plan and what I have going on, it's because it's not meant to. And there's a Bible verse for that. It's Jeremiah 29:11. I'm sure many of you know. And if you don't know, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and future." So I always try to remember that. I always try to remember that. There's things that I am wanting to happen tomorrow, if not couple years ago. No, I'm kidding. A couple of days ago, and it's okay, it's not supposed to happen yet. It's something that I want. Maybe it's something I need to pray on some more. Maybe it's something that I should be asking, is this something that's for me? And if I truly feel like it's for me, then it's just not at the right time yet. And I trust in God so much that I know that whatever it is that I want, that I've prayed about, and I'm sure that he gave me, we talked about it. It's an understanding that it's something for me. It's just because it hasn't happened yet. It's because he knows when it's going to be the best moment for it to happen. He knows when I'm going to be at my best moment to receive it. You know what I mean? I feel like there's things that we want that we're just not ready to receive. And let me give you an example. I graduated in 2022 of May. I didn't get a job like I thought I was going to get a job. I think there might be a little bit of a misconception with college, making you feel like you are lined up with companies on companies, ready for you. You know what I mean? They're ready to what's the word? Hire you off the bat because you graduated, you good, And I'm sure it happened for some people. It didn't happen for me. So I graduated in May, and I was just on the job hunt. LinkedIn became my new first priority social media. I was on it in the morning, in the day, in the night. I was on it for hours, trying to figure out what is it that I apply for. I was getting rejected after rejection. I was going through interviews like crazy, man. I was getting to the second and the third round of interviews, and then all of a sudden it was just yeah, no, sorry, moving on with the next best candidate. And it's just dang. It's okay. And so for months, there's months and months were going by, and I'm I'm not getting it. I'm not making any money. I hated that. I was just I always felt independent and always liked having my own money to pay for my own stuff. If I wanted to go out, I could, and I could afford it. And then just not having it, oh my goodness, it was eating me alive. It truly was. It was very, 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 very hard for me to just sit there and just not be able to just make money and I just felt my independence just coming away from me. It was, yeah. Realizing in those 5 months, I was able to heal because just 5 months prior to me graduating, I went through a traumatic loss, a family member. I don't feel like talking about it right now. We'll get to an episode where we talk about it. And in those times, I knew I had 2 semesters left when it happened, and I kind of just masked my feelings and thought I have so much going on right now. I'm not going to feel this thing. I'm not going to let this hurt and pain get in the way of what I have to get done, because I have school. I have my last 2 semesters, and I'm going to graduate, blah, blah, blah. And so because I just got through it, I think I truly needed those 5 months to really get through it. You know what I mean? I feel like God really put me on purpose, of course, because everything that he has is intention. Everything he does is intentional. He purposely put me at a stop. He just purposely said, no, not right now. Deal with your emotions. Let's get through it. Let's work on it. I think I had started counseling at that time. And yeah, he was just we're going to get through it. You're going to be a better person. So when you're ready for this, you're ready. And the funny thing is, I think it was September. I started going back to church in August. I joined a small group within my church. And if you don't know what a small group is, our church, Journey Orlando, they have different seasons where people like myself, anybody, can lead a small group, or you can join. There's like maybe 15, 20, 30, 50 different small groups, where it's basically building a community. You're basically building a community. It could be going to Disney as a small group, watching a movie and talking about it, reading books, reading chapters and doing a Bible study. So many different ones out there. Basketball, gym, like just creating a community of getting to know 10 people. You know what I mean? Getting to know just 10 more people they didn't know. Like, what is it that you're going through? What is it that I'm going through? What can we talk about? What can we just, building a community, which is so important. I think it's so important. So yeah, I joined my very, very first small group in September. And, I was still hoping and thinking about a job and just like, oh man, I just can't wait to get a job for sure. But I think putting myself out there and being around other people, and that community was just all girls, just being around there, just like, it was just something that I needed to do because it was healing. It was so healing for me. And then within a month of joining in September, had my first 2 sessions, or not sessions, but like meetups and group meetings, whatever, in October. So I graduated in May. In October is when I got a call back for the job that I currently work at. And I got hired. Like, it is just so crazy because imagine if I got the job in May or in June. Would I have been like the person I should have been to get that job? Like, would I have been going through anxiety? Would I have been going through like just, I don't know, because I feel like the person that I was in May definitely wasn't the person that I was going into that job in October. Like there was things that I needed to work on that I wasn't realizing I needed to work on in May. Like I'm just like, I'm so upset. I'm crying all the time because I can't find a job. Like, what's wrong with me? Of course you're putting it on yourself. Like there's something wrong with you when there's not. But, well, there was some things wrong with me. Okay. Probably. Okay. Yeah. There were things that I needed to work on. I wouldn't say there were things wrong with me. There were just things that I needed to work on. Yeah. So I got the job in October, and after, I think maybe in November, December, I was starting to realize like, I get it. I understand why. I understand 100% why it took that long. Like, I get it now. You don't get it until you get it. And sometimes I think that's why we need to just be like, understand. I think that example that happened in my life is the reason why I try to just like woo-saw. You just got to reflect. You got to reflect on the things that you went through and reflect on the reasons why things happened the way it did, and that it was a positive reason. Like there was positivity in that, even though in that moment of searching for a job from May to like August, I was so upset, like so angry, just like annoyed. I was frustrated, completely frustrated. And then I got the job. Well, I went back to church, joined a small group, didn't have the time to think of it too much. Within a month of the job working, it started to click. I was getting it. I was like, oh my goodness, you're right. You're so right. So that is my struggle with patience. My first struggle with patience, but how I'm able to kind of cope with it and have an understanding. And even though I may want something right now, like I have an understanding as why God's timing is the way it is and why I'm okay with trusting it. Like why I need to trust it, and my experience on trusting it before and where it led me and why it led me to where it did. If that made sense. I'm sorry. I just kind of said a whole bunch. I feel like I said a whole bunch of nothing just now. Hold on. Sorry. I knew based on that experience, I'm able to understand now why certain things need to come at its time. I understand that it's not on my time, it's on God's time, and He knows why. He knows things about me that you know, depending on what it is that I'm wanting, whether it's a job or promotion or whatever it is, like he knows when and why I need to be ready for it. So hopefully that gives you guys comfort for whatever you're going through right now. There might be some things that you need to do. You know, if you're questioning, maybe putting yourself out there some more, networking, you know, having the conversations, practicing having the conversations for a promotion, working on your financials for a house, you know, whatever it is, trying to come up with a plan for a workout routine, sticking with something slow, just doing one thing different rather than trying to do 10 things different, go at a slower pace, whatever it may be. Like, have that understanding that there's a reason why. You know, think about it. There's a reason why you are here right now. There's a reason why whatever it is that you want hasn't come yet. Like, what can I do? Like, what is there something else that I can be doing that I'm not doing? Is there something else I'm supposed to be understanding about myself that I'm not understanding? And you think you're doing everything, but you're not. You think you're doing everything, but there's got to be something that you haven't hit yet. Something. It's got to be something. I say pray about it. That's just my solution. Pray about it. Maybe ask around. Ask people that you look up to, that mentor you, family, your parents. Like, you know, I'm going through this. Like, what do you think I might be missing? Is there something that I'm missing? Something that I should be doing? Research, podcast, YouTube. Listen to some things that can help you understand, like, okay, maybe I should try that. And maybe that thing that you need to try is what's going to get you and lead you to where you want to be. So that's the first one. And I hope that helps somebody listening today. The second one is so embarrassing, and I feel bad. It's my patience with people. I don't have horrible patience. You know, I'm pretty patient when it comes to people I don't know, especially. I'm not a mean person. I can teach other people things, and, you know, it's like, let me just truly dive into what I'm talking about when I mean, like, my patience is with people. So my boyfriend, Shane, his name is Shane, and I noticed that I have such a thin patience with him. I don't know why. And it's so horrible. And sometimes that leads me to have, like, very thin patience with just people, but with other people, I don't show it. Like, it's just in my head, like, like, seriously, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And it depends on the situation. So, but the crazy part is that Shane has so much patience with me. It's unbelievable, because there's things that I do that are so, like, hello, Alyssa, like, what are you talking? What are you trying to say right now? Can you, like, say what you want to say? Like, there's times where I'm trying to talk to him and tell him something, but there's so much stuff going in my mind, like, it's coming out like, I don't, yeah, so I'm all over the place. And he just sits there quietly, waits for me to get everything together, and proceeds to, you know, talk. But when it's the other way around, I get so frustrated, and it's so horrible. I feel horrible saying that right now. Like, I feel like a really bad person talking about this with you guys. Yeah, I guess an example would be just that, like, him trying to explain something to me and it's not coming out yet. Like, he probably has a lot of things in his mind that he's trying to tell me something, and it's just, like, coming out slow, and just, like, I'm like, bro, what are you trying to say? Like, can you say it already? Like, what is up? Like, I'm so mean. Even with my siblings, like, I don't have patience with them. I have patience for other kids, but with my brother and my sister, my little brother is 13 and my little sister is 8. So they're young, okay? So maybe that gives me some cushion there, but they're young. So anyway, maybe I should still have patience with them. So yeah, I don't have a lot of patience. And I guess it's a fine line. Like, I have patience with people. Again, like, I won't come at my face with someone at work or someone I don't really know like that and be like, yo, what's up with you? What's wrong with you? Like, can you say what it is that you want to say? Like, I don't have that completely. Like, I have it. It's just in my head. And I just, like, woosah and brush it off. I think it's the people that are close to me and that I have a relationship with that I all of a sudden don't have patience for, which sounds horrible. But I try to remember, there's a few Bible verses that I came across, and some of them hit. Okay, like this one is Proverbs 15:18. It says, hot tempers causes arguments, but patience brings peace. I read that and I was like, wow. And I was like, so maybe some of the arguments are my fault. Like, am I the problem? I don't think I'm the problem. Like, am I the drama? Maybe I'm the drama. Maybe that's me. Oh man. So I think that's something that I have been praying for and praying on a lot, is my patience when it comes to people and like the attitude and the frustration. I don't want to lash out, and I don't want to have that, because I think that's such a horrible spirit to have, and I don't have it with everybody, but I especially don't want to have it with the person that's so close to me. Like, I need to stop. Like, I feel like it's something that is going to cause issues later on if I don't chillax and stop getting so irritated and agitated. Like, relax, girl. Like, he has so much patience with you. Why can't you have patience with him, right? And then I remember how much patience God has and had for me. And then I just sit quiet, like, wow. Like, I don't read my Bible all the time. I didn't pray often at all, if anything. I didn't talk to God. I didn't have a relationship with him. Sometimes I didn't go to church in the past. I wasn't living the best life years ago. And when I decided that I was going to, when I decided that I wanted to have a relationship with God, when I decided that I wanted to turn a leaf in my life and not do those things like I did, party, drinking, whatever, he embraced me with full open arms. Okay? When I don't pray before I go to bed, but I pray asking for something, when I don't, all those things, and it's like, he could easily just dismiss me. He could easily just be like, well, what are you praying for now? Like, can you just tell me what it is that you want? Like, what do you want? Like, he could have that. He could have that towards me, but he doesn't. He just embraces me. He embraces me with full open arms, so much love. If I sound crazy with whatever I'm trying to express to him and pray about, he's listening. He's listening, and he's just listening and understanding, and he's there. He's comforting. He's not being mean. He's not trying to rush me. He's not, like, everything that I do, he's not. Everything that I do, he's not doing. And I'm like, man, I need to be better. And I think it's such a blessing that God gives Shane that patience with me, because it's a reminder of how much patience that God has with me and God has with us. And sometimes I look at that and I'm like, wow, God, you're cool, because he's giving me an example. He's showing me, like, what are some things that I could do better and work on through my boyfriend. And I think that's awesome. So I reflect on myself and I'm like, dang, like, I should do this, like, because Shane's so good at just listening and just not getting agitated, even if I sound crazy, even if it takes me 10 minutes to fully talk about something that could have been said in 2 minutes, like, I need to have that, except for getting so mad and hot-tempered. And I would never have classified myself as a hot-tempered person, but there's days that I am, I guess, man, and I feel really bad. I feel horrible. Man, but I mean, it just shows, like, God has so much love for you, to even that you're going to be so mad at him. You could be so mad at God for being like, why is this not happening right now? Why is this, like, I don't understand. And we won't understand. We truly won't. There's actually a Bible verse for that. It is John 13:7. It says, Jesus replies, he says, you do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you will understand. You will understand, okay? And isn't that such a thing? Because I didn't realize why I didn't get a job in May or June, but I did later. I did later in October, November, December. It started to click. It started to hit why. And I was just like, ew, Alyssa, you're an idiot for feeling even a sense of mad and upsetness, because it made sense. It made 100% sense why it needed to happen now rather than it did 5 months prior. Ugh, man. It's hard. It's hard though, guys. Like, I don't want to dismiss the feelings of patience and it being hard, but I think maybe I'm learning to kind of give better advice. You know, those cliche advices I was talking about earlier, like, oh, it's gonna happen, don't worry. Just like, you know, not stress yourself, you know. And maybe as someone who has an experience, someone who, you know, refers to the Bible and verses and refers to God and just like looks up to God so much when it comes to these things, like, I can do better at giving advices for my peeps and my peoples, basically. Like, I can do better at giving advice. I'm like, look, this is what happened to me. I'm not trying to use your situation and turn it into my situation, but, you know, I thought I was ready for something. I thought it was supposed to happen at this time. And I realized when it did happen, why it needed to wait that long. You know, there's things that I feel like I could just say better to help people in that situation that have a hard time understanding why it's happening right when it's happening. I came across this not quote, but I guess an explanation when I was looking up like patience and like what it meant in the Bible too. And it said like it's the ability to endure difficult people and situations without giving into anger or giving up hope. And I thought that was just like that's it, you know, the ability to endure difficult people and situations without giving into anger and giving up hope. And I feel like that was like the best summary and some like the best way to explain how to have patience. Funny because I came across this summary sentence way after I scripted this entire episode, and I was just like, whoa, because I basically talked about those two things. To endure difficult people and situations without giving into anger and giving up hope. So I was just like, wow, it's kind of cool how that all tied in together. But it's something to remember. Like, how can we get through our day having more patience with people, with situations? How can we have more patience for the things that we want without giving up hope, knowing that it's coming? And if it's not, pray on something else. Pray on why. Let's have a better understanding. What should I be? If this job is not meant for me, help me understand what direction I need to go towards, you know? And it's hard, guys. I know it's hard, you know, like I can't stress that more because I don't want to make it feel like I don't understand. And I'm just going away from the actual feeling of being in it and being like, no, but it's difficult. It is so difficult, and it's so stressing, and it's like, oh my goodness, like why won't this happen yet? I think maybe the best way is to find something to distract your mind from it. I feel like when we pay attention to the thing that we want and we're just so focused in it and we're just like, our eyes are just locked on this thing that we want so bad, it's never gonna come. That's how I feel. I feel like if you're so focused and your mind is on it so much, it's never going to come. I just don't see that happening. I feel like that's something that has happened to me, as to why I'm saying that. And it's something that I've seen, like people being so focused on wanting this and it has to happen. It's going to happen. And then it doesn't come. And then you feel so disappointed and you feel so hurt. And I hate that feeling. I've done it. I've done it so much in my life before. And then when I didn't get it, it was such a disappointing feeling that I started to like do my best not to pay attention to it so much. If it's something that I want, I'm like, okay, this is something that I want, you know, these are the reasons why I want it. I'm going to pray and I'm just going to wait to see that if it's something for me. I'm not going to do it. Like even there's times where I'm driving and I'm like, it's coming to my mind and I'm like, swerve, like, nope, I don't want to think about you. I don't want to sit here and think about wanting you or wanting this, because I'm gonna sit there and just be like, I need it. Why don't I have it? Why is it not coming? I'm gonna start stewing on it. I'm gonna start overthinking it, and it's just never going to get here. It's just never going to get here, guys. So whatever it is that you are stressing your mind about because something's supposed to come and it hasn't come yet. Like, try to find something that distracts you. I think that'll work. Yeah. That wraps up this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope it resonates with you. I hope there was some advice that I was able to give with my personal experiences. Be sure to look out on our Instagram page. Brewed with Agape is on Instagram. I think that's all I got is Instagram, guys. You can watch the full video of this podcast on YouTube, and you can find our audio on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So keep a lookout for new things, new episodes coming soon, whatever. Just stay updated. And thank you guys for tuning in again. Bye.